Okay, let us discuss analytical methods for the herbal drugs. Okay, now these methods will help us in determination of the structure of herbal drugs. Now, this is applicable for all, even like the gold or mining or even cement. These methods are important, and elemental composition determination is very important method. Now, why this is important and what is the significance of this method, we will discuss. Listen it carefully because it is very important. We are not going to cover the analytical part. We will study as far as herbal drug concern. Okay, it is not a analysis lecture, but the you will get information about the principle and instrumentation, but that will be a brief information. Details you have to study from the analysis. So we will study from the point of view, herbal point of view. Okay, so herbal products may be contaminated with the pesticide, microbial contaminants, heavy metals and other chemical toxins. We are applying we are applying pesticides, microbial contaminants, heavy metals, and other chemical toxins. Okay, so pesticides are there, microbial contamination, heavy metals are there. We have the standardization methods for them, like the microbial count, pesticide residue determination, or heavy metal determination, or determination of the aflatoxins, etc. So there is a chances that herbal drugs get contaminated with the pesticides and the microbial contaminants. Then heavy metals and microbial contaminants may be related to the geographical source, harvesting, or a collection processes of these materials. Now, they can be contaminated during chemical treatment or associated with the storage. So they can be contaminated during the chemical treatment or associated with the storage. We studied that in the first topic of NDT syllabus, uh, how the storage condition will have effect on the storage of the crude drugs or deterioration of the crude drugs. So heavy metals or microbial contamination will be there due to chemical treatment or it will related to the storage condition. Then the concentrations of essential elements in plants is not only affected by the geochemical characteristic of soil and ecological parameters such as rainfall, atmospheric dust, plant protection agent and absorb fertilizer, but it is also by the plant's ability to selectively accumulate elements. So these elements, now there is a soil, there is a rainfall, atmospheric dust, various pesticide agents, all these will increase the concentration of these toxins, heavy metals. But apart from that, these are essential also for the plants. Okay, and it is incorporated not only by these methods but also plants ability to accumulate elements. That means plant have ability to accumulate these elements inside them. Okay, now these elements, depending upon plant's ability, accumulate inside the plant. Okay, and therefore it is essential to determine the elemental composition of the this compound. Okay, now the identification and quantification, determination of major and trace elements in medicinal plant is very important because of those factors. Now, how important? Because these trace elements play a significant role in the formation of the active constituent responsible for the curative properties, but deficiency or imbalance of these elements may cause physiological disorders. Okay, so these trace elements play a significant role. So we have to determine elemental composition. Okay, uh, not only for the contamination, but we have to determine whether it is having those constituent and whether it will have a good or curative properties, because certain constituents are playing certain important role, like the iron. Okay, iron is playing important role in the uh, blood formation or hemoglobin. Okay, essential elements in high concentration may also be toxic. Okay, so essential elements, or we can say trace elements, have curative properties, and if the imbalances are there, it will cause, we can say, it will cause a physiological disorder, and it will be highly toxic if you are using in the high concentration. Now, say for example, iron is essential and important components of protein involved in oxygen transport and metabolism, an essential cofactor in synthesis of neurotransmitters such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Okay, so iron is considered as an element. It is a trace element, essential in case of the human beings, and if it is available in the plant, that if humans consume, it will be beneficial for them. So iron is very essential. Then the element supplementation like the copper, manganese, and zinc may enhance functions of the immune system after a major trauma, and thereby reducing the risk of the death. Okay, copper is an essential nutrient that plays a role in the production of hemoglobin, myelin, collagen, and melanin. Okay, so every element have their uses, like the zinc necessary for synthesis of DNA and RNA and the functioning of over 300 different enzymes, and plays a vital role in enormous number of biological processes. So if zinc is levels are low or zinc is not there, it will include the pathogenesis of the lung cancer. Okay, so it will lead to the cancer. Then the element like molybdenum is incorporated in the metalloenzyme involved in the metabolism of proteins and fats. Chromium regulates cholesterol and fatty acid levels. Selenium involved in the elimination of the free radicals and the toxic metals. So all these elements are very important as far as human beings are concerned, and therefore it is a need to determine the elemental composition of these compounds present in the plant. So analytical methods have been used for determination of these elements in the medicinal herbs. Now, to determine these, the different methods are used. Okay, so why it is necessary? Because trace elements are playing important role in physiological processes, and if those are present in a higher concentration or beyond the limit, those are causing side effects or toxic effect, and therefore it is very necessary to have control over the elemental composition. And in order to that, we have to determine the elemental composition of the given compound, and that elemental composition, it is uh, analyzed by using atomic absorption spectroscopy. Various other methods are also there. I have mentioned here, like the electrothermal atomic absorption spectroscopy. Now, this electrothermal, it is also part of the atomic absorption spectroscopy. Uh, then, sorry, spectrometry. Then inductivity coupled plasma mass spectroscopy. It is called as a ICP-MS. Then inductivity coupled plasma atomic emission spectroscopy. Then charge particle induced activation analysis. Then neutron activation analysis. Then total reflection X-ray fluorescence. Then energy dispersed X-ray fluorescence. then energy dispersive X-ray fluorescence, XDRF. Okay, particle induced X-ray emission. Okay, so all these methods are useful in determination of the elemental composition. Now we will